Boa tarde, pessoal. Sejam bem-vindos a mais um evento do EducationUSA, a fonte oficial de informações para estudos nos Estados Unidos. O meu nome é Fernanda, sou advisor do EducationUSA aqui na PUC-Rio, no Rio de Janeiro. E hoje nós temos o prazer de ter Hannah Shen-Han Lee, a Director Associate do Everett Community College, que vai falar um pouco da sua instituição, dar algumas informações bastante interessantes. Qualquer um de vocês, tem muita gente aqui que já está acostumada, a Giovana também está voltando, temos Lucas, né, João Pedro, mas algum de vocês que queira fazer uma pergunta e não se sinta à vontade para fazer a pergunta em inglês, pode escrever aqui no chat e eu traduzo com o maior prazer, tá bom? Hannah, the floor is yours. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you. So let me share my screen and we can start from there. Okay. So I'm trying to make it understandable. I'm sorry, I don't speak Portuguese. I would love to learn a whole lot more. It's just that now taking classes is a little tricky. But today I would love to talk to you about a general idea of what community college can do for you and how, how it could be an affordable American education for you that gives you that career advantages. So in the beginning, I would like to briefly start on what the stages are. So we're going to talk about different options depending on where you are in your life. And again, community college is great because it provides a lot of options for people who are at a different stage in life or, you know, even trying to think about possibilities in the future, no matter how old you are. And then I'm going to move on talking a little bit more about Everett Community College for you, and then we break into Q&A. So we have an option for those who have not finished high school. In Washington State, we are actually privileged. We have the power to provide high school diplomas for students who wanted to finish American high school degree in America. And we have this, what we call International High School Completion Program that allows you to take classes that fulfill your high school requirement and at the same time for community college class requirement. So when you graduate, you are actually having one high school diploma and associate degrees at the same time, which allows you to have dual degrees in America at the same time, save you money. Also, we have options for those who have finished high school already, no problem. We have associate degree programs and certificate programs that are all very high quality and affordable for you as well. And then for those who have completed college degree, and perhaps you are already working, you started working already, but you are looking for that raise. You want more money for your job, or you want to maybe switch a career or add a different talent to your resume. We have some certificate programs that rank from 3 months to a year long for you to complete. So when you finish that, you can come back to your workforce and tell your boss, hey, can you give me more money for my job? Or, hey, I would like a managerial position. So to move up in the ladder for you. Or number 4, and it's oftentimes what I see, is for people who just, I don't know, I'm not sure what I wanted to do, but I want to start somewhere. Oftentimes people would actually start with improving English skills, and that's a really important skills to have nowadays. And we do have an intensive English program to help you with that. So let's talk about high school completion program. And again, this actually goes all over Washington State, including Everett Community Colleges. We all offer a high school completion program. So basically, we provide a high school diploma to our students who enroll earlier. I mean, if you come in later, you say, you know, I'm 23 and I still want an American high school diploma, no problem. Definitely we can sign up and join it, and we can just basically help you along the way and have you have dual degrees when you graduate. So it is a way for us to basically match classes that in American high school we would need. So for example, English, math, science classes that are very similar to first year of community college classes, right? English, math, and science. We mash them together so you're taking the same classes at the same time. Again, you don't have to pay 2 times, no. You pay 1 time, you have 2 degrees. And that's just saving you time and giving you a little bit more advantage. So just to briefly touch on what community colleges do, if you don't know it just yet, so community college is a 2-year school, 2-year college system that basically does the first year and the second year of school in college. So most of American students too, because it costs a lot of money to go to university, what they do is they come to community college, start usually a smaller class environment, finish year 1, year 2, and get your associate degree. And if they want, depending on their major, they can transfer to year 3 and year 4 of 4-year universities. So you can, you only spend a little bit more money for year 3 and 4, later on in life. But for international students, I think the career advantage that you can get from coming to a community college first is that when you finish associate degree after 2 years in community college, we can do what we call OPT, optional practical training. That means depending on your major, you can actually legally work in the related field in America for 1 year, from 1 year to a year and a half, 18 months. So that actually is a great opportunity for you. So for example, if I am in childhood education, and I finished my associate degree in ECE, early childhood education, I can actually do OPT and become a kindergarten teacher for 1 year before I transfer to university for year 3 and year 4 for my bachelor's degree. And after you finish your bachelor's degree, you can do another year and be a teacher, say in a kindergarten or elementary school. And then so when you graduate at a 4-year university, you would have an associate degree from community college, a bachelor's degree from 4-year university, and 2 years of working experience. So if you're young or you're starting a new career, this gives you that advantage of an American education as well as related work experience that puts you ahead in the curve when you're trying to look for a job in the future. So we offer a lot of degrees and certificate. Aside from really popular majors such as, business, so business, accounting, management are very popular amongst a lot of students, but we also have a lot of what we call STEAM classes. So science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So those classes are very, very popular right now. Also, and a special thing that we offer here at Everett Community College is the top left portion, so advanced manufacturing and aerospace. So we do have aviation maintenance technology. You learn how to fix an airplane. We have avionics. You're learning about the power, the electricity system of the airplane. We have other really cool, different type of majors as well. Also, another thing we offer at Everett Community College for international students is healthcare. So we actually do have pre-nursing classes. We have pre-medicine classes. We also have dental, medical coding and everything. So that is also a really popular profession, especially now, if that's what you're looking for to help people. And like I said in the bottom, the lines that are highlighted in yellow are the certificate programs. So for people who are already working and would like to, perhaps get a raise, right? Get more money for your job, get a promotion, be a manager, or different career path. Those are easier because we have 3, 6, or 9-month options for certificate, so you can actually gain that career advantage. So for the people who are ultimately wanting to do bachelor's degree, we do offer university transfer advising. So most of our students, after they graduate, or maybe after they graduate and finish the 1 year to 1.5 year working experience, they transfer to four-year universities. And this goes all over America. So it goes from West Coast, we have Stanford University, University of California, or all those like UC San Diego, UCLA, right? Those popular ones. To the east side, we have Purdue, Pennsylvania State, and anywhere in between. Some of our students decided to stay in Washington, and we have a really good pathway program between us and all the universities in Washington. So say, for example, University of Washington, we have Central Washington University or Washington State University. But more importantly, we actually do university transfer fair. So we invite university representatives come and talk to our student. This year, however, will be online, but we're trying to make it accessible so students can learn about other universities and how they can transfer, or they can learn about what's the price, what is the transfer scholarship, what kind of good deal that they can get for transferring to those universities. And after they collect those information, they can make a decision, or our office keep some information as well. So when it comes time to transfer, we can provide you with information and help you decide. We don't decide for you though. We help you decide when you are trying to make a decision on where to go for the universities. And we do 5 transfer fairs every year. And like I said, this year, however, will be online. Or for anybody who don't know where to start, this is all too much right now. I just want to learn English. We have that too. So we have what we call Intensive English Program, IELP. And that is actually separated in 4 levels. So you can go from very, very little English, not at all, to almost ready for college, level 4. We have it all for you. And our teachers are great in helping you, trying to get a feel of American culture and language learning at the same time. So, like I said earlier, community colleges generally are a good deal. If you look at left to right, it's the prices of private university, public university, or community college. You're looking at least 50% off if you choose a community college. The quality is not changing. You're going to the same classes with the professor, learning better at a cheaper price, and I think it's a really good deal. So taking a closer look, if you're looking at finishing a bachelor's degree eventually, if that's what you wanted to do eventually, if you look at the prices, if you start at a community college for 2 years and then go to different university, you're looking at between $133,000 to $163,000. Again, that kind of depends on how you spend. Don't go shopping every day. That goes up. The whole price goes up. But if you go to university straight, right, 4 years, you're starting public school, you're starting at $182,000. If you go to private school, it's even more expensive. So let's take a look, really. If you look at the difference, it can, coming to community college first can actually save you about 100,000 US dollar, which is 606,000 Brazilian dollars. That's a lot. Okay, that's a lot of money you can save by starting at a community college. And that money, you can do anything we want. You can invest, you can buy a house. I don't know. There's so many things you can do with that money, right? I love that GIF, by the way. So looking at right now the community college, for Everett Community College specifically, every year, the total we're looking at for general studies is $21,749. And that's a pretty usual for community colleges, more or less. And this is based on 12 credits per quarter. So we're on a quarter system. We have 4 quarters every year. But since now we have a pandemic, we're trying to handle, it's a lot, I know. Right now, depending on your major, if you're looking at business, marketing, accounting, those general majors, this would be the price. But also, you're not coming to America, you're studying online. You don't need to pay the residence hall. You don't have to live in America, which costs a whole lot more. And you're not spending money on health insurance that we ask you to do if you're in America. So every year, if you're studying online, you're only looking at $11,258. However, we do have other what we call hybrid programs. So hybrid program means that for those majors, there are some classes we ask you to come in person. So for example, aviation, right? Fixing airplane. You can't fix an airplane with the computer, right? It's like, oh, over there, the little thing, you move it to the left. You don't do that, right? You can't fix an airplane from a computer. So there are some lab classes we ask you to come in person. And for new students who are majoring in those majors, so aviation, avionics, nursing, and cosmetology, okay? So things that have to do with airplanes, nursing, right? Nursing, you're becoming a nurse, right? You can't do CPR over the computer. It's like, oh, he's not breathing, I think, I can't use, right? Cosmetology, so anything about facial care, body care, a lot of things, those are all in person. These 4 are the general hybrid majors. So for a new student, for those hybrid majors, number 1, your per academic year cost may be different. Number 2, as a new student in these majors, you will be allowing to come in the United States when the travel ban is lifted, because there are in-person portion that we require you to come and learn in person as well. But generally, if you're looking at other majors, art, humanities, business related majors, this is actually a really good deal, because another thing is when you're studying online, not under a student visa limit, you don't have to be full-time, right? So for example, if you think taking 12 credits online is a lot, maybe take 4, 5, 1 or 2 classes, right? So then it's easier for you to work, maybe study at the same time, or you just feel like it's too much because online education is different. I just want to take 1 class. That's okay too, because we are calculating 12 credits for this slide basically only because this is for full-time, maintaining F1 student visa status, purpose, right? When you are in the US, you need to be full-time student. But if you're outside the US taking classes online, you don't have that kind of restriction. So it could be cheaper for you. And honestly, right now, because of pandemic, I'm working from home, right? This is my office in my house. And honestly, even taking 1 class, moving forward, or taking that 1 class, learning how to get better in English, any progress is great for you, since we're all sitting at home trying to wait this pandemic out, right? So a little bit about Everett. If you don't know, a lot of time people ask me, is it Washington, D.C.? It's different. So Washington, D.C. is on the other side. We're on the west coast of America, right above California and Oregon, on the top left of the corner. And Everett is actually just a little bit above, about 30-minute driving from Seattle. Many people probably would know Seattle. So it's close enough, right? It's really close, and we're really close to the ocean. We're also really close to the mountains. So it's a really beautiful state and really beautiful city. And just to briefly touch on what Everett is all about. So we're in what we call Pacific Northwest, and we have just about 110,000 people. So it's actually the number 10 largest city in Washington State. It is smaller, but it's much safer comparing to a big city like Seattle, San Jose, or New York, right? Those big cities tend to have craziness going on. So for a smaller town, we're much safer. And even though we're a smaller town, it doesn't mean that we lose convenience. So we still have many shopping that you can do, many things you can go places you can go and see even during pandemic. So right now, for example, I go hiking once every week, just to kind of see around the beautiful scenery and get some exercises in. But we also at school, we do grocery shopping to take students out and buy things on a weekly basis. And we're about, like I said, 40 kilometers north of Seattle, and we're about an hour, so 72 kilometers from the international airport. So like I said, over here, you can see there's a lot of things to do. The seasonal changes are beautiful. In the winter, we do have snow, but not much snow. It's not snow taller than me, no. Our snow, the most snow last year we have is about maybe this much. That's about it, right? So it's cold. It can be cold in the winter, but it's not that cold. It's great. We are really close to the beach as well. Some of our students actually just spent some time, it's a really small group going to the beach last weekend. So it's a very nice place to be. And there are many, many things to do. We have parks, we have many activities. We have a golf course next door. You can do a lot of hiking. There are beaches and restaurants to go. And even during the pandemic, restaurants are open too. Some of them do takeouts. Some of them you can sit in a smaller group and enjoy your food too. And we also have an outlet nearby. So for girls who like shopping, or boys who like shopping too, we have an outlet very close by, and a lot of times our students go shopping over there when they request, and we can drive them there. So next up is to show you a little bit of our campus. This is Great Wolf Hall. This is a building where we do a lot of classes in humanity, human sciences, business communication, and it's also where our offices are. Although we're not there now though, so sad. We also have a computer science and information technology, so computer stuff in the Shuckson Hall. And this is where all the magic, computer stuff happen. I'm not really good at computer, but this is where all the magic happens. For those who are interested in sciences or visual arts and engineering programs, we have White Horse Hall. So most of our buildings have been renovated, meaning that they're all pretty new. They're maybe between 1 to 3 years old. And inside the equipments are all brand new for you to do drawings, sculptures, or engineering things with it. And recently, this is about just two years old. We also have a student fitness center, and it's all indoor. So we have a basketball court, we have an indoor running trail up by the court, we have a gym for students to exercise, and these are all included in your student tuition when you come. And on campus, we also have the Student Union Building and Parks Cafe, where people gather, eat, study. We have student life in there, and students can ask all kinds of questions and, connect with each other. There's bookstores, there is counseling services. So a lot of things that can happen inside of this building as well. And a lot of things another good things when you come to our campus, we do have wireless internet access all over the campus. We have smart classrooms with computer accesses, and we have a lot of good, equipment for multimedia, digital design stuff for people who are interested in art. So why choose EVCC or community college in general? Know that your success is definitely our priority. And now during the pandemic, safety also is our #1 priority too. So Everett Community College is ranked top 150 community colleges in the US. And like I said earlier, we do have very excellent programs in STEAM. So science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We do only do smaller classes. So unlike four-year universities with year 1, year 2 classes at a university, most of the time classes are super big. You have 100 to 200 people and your teacher is about this big. You can barely see them. And picture that online, like every picture photo frame is maybe this small on your computer screen. So it's much harder to learn. So smaller classes is a guarantee in most community colleges. And we do offer a lot of tutoring services and academic support. Even now, during the pandemic, we offer all kinds of tutoring services and support online as well. Also, we do just about a full support services from our office through our international education staff. So between me and my boss and my colleagues, we do a lot of services. Sometimes it could be just connecting students to the right places for services, or general immigration advice, advising sessions to anything. Like, I don't know where to buy grocery. What do I do? We help you find it. So there's a lot of things that we do for our students. Also, honors program for international students. If you have a good grade, you can join what we call Pi Theta Kappa, PTK. That also provides you another option for scholarship. And it also means that you're really doing good at school, and it increases your chances to transfer to universities later on. And two more things I would like to, tell you about, for this support services is the International Ambassadors and Conversation Pal program. So international ambassadors are a program that we put together. I don't mean that all the ambassadors are all international. They can be American students, but these are the student ambassadors that reach out to everybody and answer all your questions. So for example, what English class should I take? Which one is better? Which teacher is good? Which teacher is tough, right? So sometimes they have those kind of questions. And then for the Conversation Pal, is basically a student club that we put together. It's a student-run program. And what they do is they get together now, even during the pandemic, they use this thing called Radius, I think. And they basically text each other online almost every day. Actually Discord, sorry. They use Discord and they talk about food, they talk about traveling. So you are connecting with other students on campus just to, build friendship, getting to know each other. And another thing that they do now is provide a good support system for each other, right? A lot of people are having a hard time with online classes, and they're like your instant friend online. So when you come to America, you already have friends in Everett. So that's a great program to have. And right now, Conversation Pal, we have about 50% American and 50% international. So they really make good friendship through the quarter and have that support system for themselves. And we do have scholarship. That's a very common question. For new students, we have what we call leadership scholarships, and we offer 50 scholarships throughout the school year. For each new applicants, we offer US $1,000. And all we ask is that you write a one-page English essay talking about your leadership and community service experience. So for example, it could be in high school, you were in a student club, and you were helping with an event that's leadership. Or you have volunteer over the weekend for a food bank, for example, and that's community service. So those are the things that you can write about in your paper, and we do offer that. In addition to that, after you become a student, every spring we have what we call the Foundation Scholarship, and that's campus-wide. And many times our international students get awarded, and that amount can change depending on the year and the qualification as well. Another thing I'd like to share with you is at Everett Community College, we do embrace cultural diversity. So our students are great. If you look at the picture, we have African groups on campus. They have a club on campus. We do cultural events, 1 or 2 times a year for our international students to celebrate their culture, to share their culture to the campus. And we do a lot of events that are a blend. So like the Conversation Pal that I was talking about, they do a lot of events. They went hiking together, they went bowling together, right? So to embrace that cultural diversity, the differences, and get to learn from each other. So right now we have about 200 international students representing 28 countries Brazil included. So right now, our smaller international student population helps us, the international education stuff, to really get to know each other, and then to help our students really get integrated in American life and American culture. So this is kind of a brief map that I put together. Historically, we have had 67 countries represented at Everett Community College, and we're proud to have all these students coming from all over the world and share with us their culture and, you know, their experiences. It has been great. And so when pandemic is a little bit easier, travel ban is lifted, and travel is safe again, when you come, why come to Everett? We have 2 dorms. And actually each dorm has different settings. So on the left, you see Mountain View Hall. It's studio apartments. So 1 bedroom, all for yourself. You have your own bathroom and everything. You don't need to share. And on Cedar Hall, which is across the corner, we do have personal rooms, 3 or 4 bedroom options. So you can, you know, but it's apartment style. So you still have your own door that you can close and lock behind you. It's not that, you know, you're sharing, you know, you're in the same room with your roommate kind of thing. It's kind of awkward. But another good thing is living on campus is great because you're 5 minutes away from class, right? I have students that wake up 5 minutes before class and just start running. So it's really convenient. And it's right next to the fitness center, so you can work, you know, get some exercise into. So this is just to show you what it looks like on a, you know, sunny summer day like now today, from our dormitory. And inside the Mountain View Hall, you would see, like, you know, coin operated. Well, actually, those washers on the picture, they have an app that can connect to your phones. It's like super high end. We do have 24/7 security, and assistance from resident assistants every day. So it provides that extra safety. And during COVID, during the pandemic, we do make sure that we clean every room on a really regular basis to make sure that everybody's safe and healthy. And in the Cedar Hall, this is where oftentimes you see 3 or 4 bedroom apartments. Sometimes you share a bathroom with 1 or 2 people, but you have a common area, the living room and kitchen that you share together. So a lot of times they kind of throw a party over there sometimes just to get to know your dorm mates. So right now, application is very easy. So we would definitely need application form. And if you graduated high school, great. If you don't, it's no problem. But we would need all the official transcripts from all the schools that you have attended before, so high school or college, as well as a $40 non-refundable application fee and a copy of your passport photo page, right? So the whole page. Right now, because depending on your major, if you're not coming in the US, we don't require financial statement. So we don't require bank statement for the time being. And that goes across for all of the schools right now, because if you're not coming in the US, you don't have to prove that you can pay for a year. So, but if you are in the hybrid program, so for example, aviation, avionics, nursing, and cosmetology, those, if you are required to come in the US to study, then we will need a bank statement so we can issue you an I-20 for your visa interview. Okay. So if you have any questions, again, I'm very sorry I don't speak Portuguese. I really would love to know how to speak it. I'm very rusty. But if you have any questions, feel free to type in the chat box, or like, you know, I used to teach English too. If you don't have questions right now, but you know, 10 minutes later after we finish, you go, oh, wait, I have a question now. Oh, right? Like, it's okay. You can also find me on Facebook or Instagram at EVCC International. I'm actually running the social media platform too. So you can feel free to type, you know, message me on either Facebook or Instagram, and both would be fine. Or you can email me at INTADM, that stands for International Admission, at everettcc.edu for more information, for any kind of, oh, I need the form, where do I find it kind of information, or go on our website at everettcc.edu/international. But more importantly, if you have questions, ask away. One thing I don't think I have mentioned is I'm also an international student. Back then, I am personally from Taiwan, a little island country next to China. And so if you have any kind of study abroad general questions about how, what is the difference of studying in America, what kind of challenges or what's so great about it, all kinds of study abroad questions, may or may not related to Everett Community College, please ask away. I'm an open book, and I'm not shy in answering questions.
Well, Hannah, thank you very much. It has been an amazing presentation. I want to study in Everett Community College now. You have such a good energy. And we already have a question on the chat.
Okay. Let's see. Transfer agreements and how to facilitate a process for students. So this is a great question. Awesome. Thank you, Victoria. So oftentimes students choose, it depends, right? Depending on the student's priority. So for some students, convenience is a priority. So they don't want to move away to a different state. It's too far. I have to pack my bags. And, I came with 2 luggages, now I have 6 because I went shopping, For convenience sake, a lot of students do go to schools within Washington State. And so, like I said, Central Washington, University of Washington, or Washington State University all have kind of a transfer agreement with us, right? And it's easier, and most of our academic advisors know, say, for example, I'm too lazy, I don't want to move out of Washington State, I want to continue my study within. Talk to your advisor, and they'll help you plan out, okay, so here is this class, and this class you must take, so you can transfer, no problem. But if it's out of state, we also have transfer agreement with many, many schools. Although it's not necessarily a requirement, even if, so say for example, we actually don't have an agreement with UCLA, but do our students go? Sure. And all they have to do is work with their advisor to talk about, hey, I really want to go to UCLA and I'm in business major. What classes do I have to take to meet their requirement? Right? So they help you build that plan to help you succeed in the future. But also, I would like to touch on that university transfer fair that I was talking about. Oftentimes, for Brazilian students, especially, convenience may not be the priority, right? Sometimes it's about money. Sometimes it's about closer to families, right? So sometimes our students come to Everett, but they have family in Pennsylvania, or they have friends in California, so they choose different places. But, some students say, oh, money is an issue. Oh, I don't want to go expensive places. Where can I go? So the university transfer fair really helped our students basically, in a sense, shop around, right? So it's kind of like an online catalog that you can collect. Okay, so this school gives me $2,000 bonus if I sign up. This one has transfer scholarship for 1 year tuition free. That one is really convenient, has really great programs that I can find a good job, internship, and everything. So we encourage students to get information from every university transfer fair. Again, this is not a thing that you only do. You can attend every single transfer fair and collect all the information, because oftentimes we invite different schools for each fair, and you just collect all the information, and at the end we can sit down with you and talk about, okay, so what would you like to know? Like, is money the first issue? Is location your first priority? We talk about different things, and we laid out maybe top 5 options for you to apply when you were ready. So then, it actually gives you a better view on what choices you can have that best suits you and your situation in the future. That's definitely, I think, something that we do pretty well at Everett CC.
Thank you very much. I think Victoria has another question about law. Do you have any law courses in Everett Community College?
We actually
Pre-law?
don't have pre-law. Law is a very specific, but what you can do is come in as a general study student, taking at least the first year student classes. So for example, law school generally, depending on the university, ranks from 5 to 7 years. And when you're in law, your ultimate goal usually is JD, right? And what we can do to help you save money and get a good start in American culture and preparation is we can help you when you come in, do a general study and get the first year classes, the easy stuff out of the way. So like I said, the English, the math, the science, right? Those three are usually required for first year. So you can actually at least save the first year tuition at a community college and use those, because you don't have to graduate from community college to transfer. No, you can actually transfer as soon as you're ready to. We usually recommend that you transfer after English 101 is completed, because usually you don't have to get retested for your English proficiency. So then, after your first year, your English is ready, you're familiar with American culture, you are just, if you're ready to go, then you work with your advisor to, I know University of Washington has a law school, basically work with your advisor in transferring into University of Washington for year 2 and on, so that you're ready. Because honestly, my personal experience anyway, when I first came to America, going to a university was so scary. My English wasn't bad. I thought my English was okay. And I go into classroom, I couldn't understand. It's so fast. Everybody, you can't talk. And so that first year in community college really can give you a good foundation in preparation for your life in university, in a sense, especially in law, when everything is so fast, so much, it's I don't even know if that's English anymore. It's such a much harder English too. So, have that foundation to get you ready mentally, academically, at a community college will be a great start, I think.
Vicky, was that your question? Do you have anything else related to that you'd like to ask? If you want to switch on your mic, it's answered. Okay, good.
Hi, Hannah. We talked through our emails. Victoria, I'm an advisor here in Rio. I have a student that was looking for law, like pre-law courses at community colleges. She just wanted like an international experience. So we saw that Everett had a course, not exactly law, but it was like legal assistance or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was very excited because finished get her associate's degree and maybe do an OPT related to that that assistant.
Definitely, yes. Thank you. Yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to shoot me an email or message on Instagram or Facebook. Either way, I'm available.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
There's a question here from Isa Rezende. Isa, você gostaria que eu falasse com ela, que eu traduzisse? Mas se você quiser ligar o microfone, eu vou traduzir, mas se quiser, jump in, tá? Isa is asking if on top of the $1,000 financial aid, is there any other kind of financial aid, work on campus, anything similar to that?
Right. So to tack on that, pre-pandemic, I should say, my one thing that my boss works really hard is to secure on-campus employment opportunities for our students. So for example, I'm actually going to give you an example for our previous Brazilian students. They're so cute. I love them. So usually on-campus work, opportunities don't come easily. But what my boss does is before every quarter start, he would put together, he would look at the numbers, right? How much money we have. So then he would send out an email to all the departments at school and say, hey, now I have, for example, $90,000 I would like to spend on our students. Who has a job that I can give it to my students? Let me know. So then we'll get a list of opportunities at school that students can work at. And usually we release that information second, third day of school when it started. And our Brazilian student literally came like running. Okay, what kind of job is there? I need job right now. And they're so cute. I love them. So there and you know, there are some slow ones that come later on. They're like, oh, so what kind of job I have? Like, I don't know. 3 Brazilian students just came. You better start running too. So the 3 Brazilian students that came running, one worked at a fitness center helping the front desk. One was working at a student senate, actually, so representing student body. And that's actually a paid position on campus. And another one is working at student life, so helping other students in process, helping them find places, information about school. So all 3 of them actually find jobs on campus, and they were so happy. They were like, oh my God, I found a job, yay. But they're the one that come running. So every quarter we try to do that. Right now, things are a little different because we're all working from home. So the positions are a little shifted a little bit right now, but we managed to keep international student ambassador positions. So we work with student life. So we actually have students that are working in their home country right now, doing ambassador stuff. So right now we provide ambassador hours online. So we have American ones that do, you know, regular hour 1 to 5 in the afternoon here. We have one in Japan doing Japanese version. We have one in Korea. We have one in Vietnam. And those are the Zoom hours we offer to our students that are speaking different languages that are having perhaps issues. But because of pandemic, some of the students, even though they're working, decided to go home. So they're working actually from home, just like us, at a different time zone, helping the students over there overseas as well. So there are opportunities. And also another thing is too, depending on your major, you can perhaps look into CPT, so curricular practical training, which allows you to do internship while you're at school. But that is something that we can discuss after you have finished the first year of your school, and then we can look into the CPT, helping you find internship opportunity and the paperwork and everything.
Ok, thank you. Isa, tá ok para você? Se tem mais alguma dúvida, because Isa, she's having a trouble with her mic. So that's why she wanted me to ask. So
yeah, no
problem.
Okay,
guys. Okay, yeah. Perfect. Okay.
No problem.
Okay. Mais alguma pergunta? Any more questions, guys? Well, do you wanna share again the screen with your contact information?
Sure, absolutely.
Hannah, so that anyone who couldn't catch the information. And guys, this webinar will be uploaded in our YouTube page later today. So if you want to watch it again, please do. Ok? Tá, pessoal? Vai estar na nossa página do YouTube daqui a pouquinho. Vocês vão poder entrar lá e tirar suas dúvidas. Aqui, ó, tem a foto com mais informações, o contato da Hannah. E é isso. Other than that, I think I will wrap up. Would you like to say anything else, Hannah?
Yeah, sure. So I think the last few things I wanted to touch on is we talked about this a little bit, Fernanda, before the meeting starts, that right now the pandemic is, in a sense, locking us in at home, and really it's for the safety of the general public. It's for, you know, everybody's health. And a lot of times I know and I understand that for many students all over the world, it's not just Brazil, it's Taiwan, it's Japan, it's all over the world. They're all having issues looking at educations from a different angle, right? Before, you know, education as I see my teacher, I listen to my teacher, I learn. Now everything is moving online, and a lot of times it's hard for people to wrap their heads and wait, how do I do that, right? Like that idea is very strange. And believe me, this is something we are learning too, on a day-to-day basis, right? Like we're coping, we're handling everything one at a time. But also I would like to encourage you guys, if you are thinking about moving forward, right? That's, like I said, because if you are not coming to America, you're not restricted by the full-time requirement. Take one class, right? No matter how little you are, you're moving little bit at a time forward. And I think that's something during the pandemic, it's so often that we forgot to do for ourselves, you know, because we just feel so trapped. We feel like, oh, I can't do anything. I'm like, you know, you don't have that motivation and encouragement. And trust me, I have those moments too. But know that you should just pick up your foot, take one step at a time, no matter how far. It can be this far, it can be just a little bit, doesn't matter. You're moving forward. And I think that's ultimately the most important thing right now we can do for ourselves, even though we're going through a really tough, difficult time. And no matter what your decision is, even if you just have a general questions about study abroad, even if you don't eventually come to Everett, feel free to shoot me a message on Instagram. I would be more than happy to help out. And, you know, just chat with you, you know, and that's basically what I do anyway. But most importantly, I hope you guys all safe and well during this difficult time. And I hope to maybe see you, hopefully, eventually in Everett. We can go shopping together, okay?
Thank you very much. Very wise words. So, guys, thank you very much. Muito obrigada. Vocês podem ter percebido aqui pela apresentação maravilhosa da Hannah que estudar nos Estados Unidos continua sendo muito mais fácil do que você pensa. Existem possibilidades e o Education USA está aqui para ajudar. A Hannah colocou todas as suas informações também. Continuem participando dos nossos eventos, né, Lucas e Cecília? E a gente se vê num próximo evento dentro em breve. Muito obrigada e até a próxima.
Thank you.